Hello and welcome to Deccan Herald's Bengaluru 2040 Summit. We have an exclusive interview with Indian former hockey player Ashish Ballal, an Olympian and Asian Games gold medalist. Hello sir, welcome to Deccan Herald and the summit.
Thank you so much.
To start off with the basic, what is your vision for sport in Bengaluru?
I think we got a long way to go, but I'm very optimistic that that by 2040 we will see Bangalore and Karnataka as a global leader of sports. Because, but it's going to be a tough task because Bangalore has been growing exponentially, and everybody wants to come to the city, and unless and until the city spreads horizontally and not vertically, I think there is hope for sporting activity to happen, and unless and until there is leadership from the chief minister downwards, the top brass, whether it's the sports minister, whether it's the chief minister, whether it's the director of youth service and sports, unless and until they are passionate about sports, then only can they be really changed. You see, for the example of Odisha, how Naveen Patnaik, the chief minister of sports how he's transformed sports in Odisha, and it's become a sporting destination. And if Karnataka wants to develop as a sporting destination, it has to be from the leadership on top.
Right. Also talking about the rich history of sport in the city and Karnataka as well. Over the years, you're a part of one of the big names of sports persons from the state. You know, what needs to, when we have so much history, the last 10-15 years has been really tough for the state. What were the reasons, and how do we not go back into that slump and take it upwards instead?
I think that might be a drawback for really what Karnataka has. We have got so many icons and legends coming out from Karnataka without a system in place. And if it's a smaller state, and if only one star is there, so the impetus is about one star, and a lot of attention is given to that sport or sporting, whether it is hockey or whether it is badminton or whether it is, you see, transformation is happening because of one star from that place. But Bangalore has got sportsmen from all over the gambits, and without the proper infrastructure, we are producing sportsmen who are representing the country, but things are not looking good. This is the first time in the history of India that we don't have a hockey player in the World Cup. You know, and that is really shocking because when I see a time in 1989 when I was playing, when 10 out of 16 players were from Karnataka. What happened? Is it because we just took ourselves for granted? So we did not up our game. We did not move into the districts. We didn't have better coaches. We didn't invest in infrastructure. But we believed in the huge building concept of a 4 crore stadium. You spend 300 crores on the structure around it. It should be vice versa. Nowhere in the world where such huge buildings are for training. You know, it's only the turf should be provided. Sadly, in the last 25 years, we have had only one AstroTurf, and nobody can play hockey on gravel or grass anymore. It has to be played on an AstroTurf and synthetic pitch. If you learn on grass or gravel or any other surface, to undo what you learn takes longer time than you really learn fresh. So this has to be put into people's mind, because there are so many people sitting in spaces who don't have a clue of what sports is and how dynamic sports has become.
Right. The next question I had was, I know this is a Bengaluru 2040 event, but as sports people, we know a lot of people talk about it, that the real talent is in the outside the city, the rural parts of the state. And you yourself being from Bangalore, what do you have to say about the development, infrastructure, administration wise, everywhere apart from Bengaluru in the state?
I think it is also, again, it comes to administration and leadership. An MLA from a particular state, he wants infrastructure, he'll drive the bargain so high that I want a stadium put up in my city or my district. But who's gonna you invest 300 crores on a stadium which is neglected after the opening ceremony? Nobody is there is after 40 years or 50 years. Has anyone been to the Kantirava Stadium, which is the only athletic stadium? Has anybody been to the restroom of Kantirava Stadium? No one could ever go again. We have not developed. You know, we have built such a huge, beautiful stadium, but the basic amenities of people going, there's no shower room, there is no toilets. You go to the Bangalore Football Association, pathetic. We have an MLA who's the president, who's from that constituency. He's not developed the stadium. Look at the stadium where it is. When a public company wants to, when a private company wants to do PPP model of the stadium, they don't want to give because their ownership or the power will go down. They are not doing anything and not wanting anyone else to do it. And that is the sad part of Indian sport.
Okay, so do you think taking away the politicians and bringing more sports people in as administrators, of course after training, and because administration is completely different from being an athlete.
Absolutely.
So you think that will make a huge change?
No, I think you need to get professionals. There are sports administrators, there are specialized sports administrators, there are educated sportsmen who have got a vision, who are just not followers. They have got an idea, they are moving on with times, they are well traveled, they know what the surrounding is, and those people's idea should be taken into aspect. Our town planning department is so redundant when it comes to sports. They do not have a clue of what sports is, what needs, what infrastructure is required for an athlete to develop. We spend, again, for fencing a track, you spend 2 crores or 3 crores to just fence a track. But you don't spend 50,000 or 1 lakh or 2 lakhs to provide a hurdle or provide gym equipment. You know, that is the sad part. People don't understand that it is not, whether it is walking track today. You see, other than Sankey Tank, there is no place where there is a good walking track. You know, again, you spend 5 crores on fencing that whole lake. But the track which you walk in is so uneven that you are going to bound to get shin pain. So we are not addressing the real issue over here, and that is because of ignorance and people who are not traveled and don't know what it requires and how sports has moved up. We still believe we are still 40 years behind. Even today I say we are way behind when it comes to sports scientific training, sports infrastructure, sports science, and we don't have coaches. All our coaches have done an NIS degree, which is 25 years, the same program which was there 25 years back, the same program they are studying today. Sports has changed. It's changed so much, right from the way you warm up, the way you do stretching, the way you do weights, the nutrition, how many minutes of training is required, how many hours of training a week is required. Things have changed. We in our time we didn't have a clue on what we just did, and the after effects are known now. And every day getting up is a challenge because we learnt all the wrong things, and it's all become occupational hazard. Every day it's a challenge where you one day you hold your knee, one day you hold your shoulder. So it's because of wrong training practices what we have done previously. And we cannot let this happen to our younger generation. So we need to do what is right for our kids. We need to provide infrastructure. We need to provide the proper coaches. We need to provide the proper administrators who will take care of these kids. So a lot of things is required if Karnataka has to be a sporting hub.
One last question to you as a hockey player, and you've traveled the world, played the biggest events in the sport. The Hockey World Cup is around the corner and we are the hosts this time. Your predictions and expectations from the Indian team?
I really believe that we are the top 3 contenders in this World Cup. But a lot of things have to happen. Our training, nobody knows because it's such secretive. Our trainings, unlike before, where people could go and visit the training where practice sessions were happening. Today it is completely closed because of all foreign coaches. There are no Indian coaches associated, so it is banned for public. It's banned from the press. I don't know why it's become so secretive training. In fact, the World Cup team should have taken, like the World Cup trophy, the World Cup team should also have taken a tour round, going and playing some exhibition matches, and that would have built a huger momentum than just sending the trophy all round. But I'm optimistic, and I hope and pray that we really do well. It's a great opportunity. We have some fine lads. The only disappointment is that we don't have anyone from Karnataka, and that's a sad point. And it's the first time in history, and we need to up our game. Whether the administrators, the sports ministry, and a lot of people should put their heads and minds of why this is happening.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully that will change in the future, and we'll go back to the golden days of Karnataka hockey with more players in the national squad. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this interview.